Behar has gone so far over the line. I mean, I don't even know how this show is still operating. And of course, today is Friday. That means open phones. We call it Open Mega Mic Friday. I'll be on there in just a minute. I'm doing some audio production over here, and I forgot about the show, but it's time. All right, welcome everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Oh man, do we have a lot to talk about today. And of course, today's Friday. That means open phones. We call it Open Mega Mic Friday. Anything and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. You are not limited to the topics and the subjects that we bring up here on the program. Although I got a lot to bring up, and I hope you are interested in what I bring up as well. But you are not limited to those topics today. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. And before we go to the phones, if you're on hold, stand by. The phones are already ringing, which is awesome. Stand by, guys. I am going to talk here in the beginning about what happened on The View yesterday. You know, The View is a poison place. It just is. You know, there's poison people in the world. And I've had to deal with poison people. Do you know what I do with poison people? I cut them out of my life. Okay? In this kind of business, there's always poison people around trying to cause problems. When I deal with anyone that like these ladies on The View that are poison people, that's it for me. I don't allow poison people to be in my orbit. Now, The View, The View's been on the air for a long time, and the original coven has been replaced over the years. There have been many different people that have come and gone, and the current coven that we have on The View is not the original, although Joy Behar, was she there in the early days? Maybe she was. But if she's an original, she's the last, but I'm not sure if she was there on day one. But this show, from the moment it went on the air, it's always been a problem show. And, I'm all for free speech and everything. Don't get me wrong. I'm in the free speech business. And when it comes to free speech, though, a lot of people don't understand what the First Amendment means. Most people don't. The First Amendment doesn't mean that you can go around and say whatever you want to say whenever you want to say it. The First Amendment protects you from the government controlling your speech. Now, it looks like there's a lot of violations of that, right? It's not about individual speech. But there are some things that people say and do that are so far outside of the boundaries of good taste that they've got to be discussed. And what happened on The View yesterday is so far over the line. Not only does it need to be discussed, it really needs to be dealt with. Joy Behar, now today's Friday, typically, unless there's a change, unless something has happened, The View is live Monday through Thursday. And typically, Friday's show is recorded on Thursday. They do the live show on Thursday, and then after that, they record a second show. But on occasion, they will do a live show on Friday. How many times are people on The View going to say ugly, inappropriate things, whether it's Whoopi and her anti-Semitic comments or what Joy Behar did yesterday? And this apology business just isn't going to cut it anymore. There needs to be a true intervention over there on The View. These are very sick, twisted people on that show. These are not normal people who think like normal people. They're very ugly, evil people who think very terrible things. So let me play this. And full disclosure, I do not watch The View. When something of interest happens, I see it on Twitter or I hear about it in the news, and I go and pull the audio up. Okay? I do not watch The View. I did watch part of the show a week or two ago because they had the Star Trek cast on. but I only watched the segment they were on, okay? And I recorded that on DVR. But I don't want people to think I watched The View. Are you kidding me? Ugh, I couldn't imagine watching this. So let me, if you're on hold, stand by. Let me play what Joy Behar said. Joy Behar, she's talking about East Palestine, Ohio, and this god-awful accident. And I've been telling you guys, we talked about this a lot yesterday when we were discussing President Trump's comments, that this town was being neglected. This town, the poisoning of this community was being allowed to continue because 60 to 70% of the community voted for Trump. And they hate MAGA people. They've decided, the left have decided, they use January 6th as an excuse. They've decided that anyone who supports President Trump, has voted for President Trump, is MAGA, wears a MAGA hat. Like I'm right now, I have Trump on my shirt that I'm wearing. You know, that you are a threat, you are a danger, and you deserve what you get. Have I been telling you guys this for a while? I've been telling you this. We were talking yesterday about Biden's refusal, his denial to send FEMA assistance. And I told you guys yesterday, the thought with the gun, that's something I don't know of it happening. I asked 3 hours on yesterday's show if someone can give an example of FEMA being denied when requested by a governor in the past during a time of tragedy or disaster in America. Even the liberals couldn't think of another time. I thought for sure they would stretch and Google and find something. And believe me, people listening to this program on the left were Googling all day to find another example of a FEMA denial, and they couldn't find one. But I told you guys the reason they denied FEMA is because this is a MAGA town, and the left believe that because they're MAGA, they deserve this. They deserve to be poisoned by deadly chemicals. I just looked at the clock. I don't have time to play the audio before the break. So I'm going to take the break. I'm going to play this disgusting, vile audio from the Coven of the View yesterday. And just to summarize it, Joy Behar said that the people of East Palestine, Ohio, deserved what they got because they voted for Trump. I'm going to play the whole discussion when we get back from the break. Can you believe it? That's what she said. That's what she said. Our number, again, it is open phones. You're not limited to what I'm bringing up today. You can talk about anything and everything you have on your mind, but I would like to hear your thoughts on this at 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines.
It's pretty bad. I'm doing some production work over here, guys, while we're talking. So.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon, and who doesn't want to have a home security system? So, by popular demand, we're bringing it back.
So sorry, guys.
Free doorbell camera. I wish I could give everyone a free doorbell camera, but I can't. I can give the first 40 true oldies channel listeners who call today a free doorbell camera. 1-800-ALARM-ME. You'll get a free limited-time doorbell camera that connects directly to your phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. The doorbell camera is a free $1,500 customized security system. Now you're probably wondering what comes in this package. Well, you're going to get a free LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and a backup battery, and their low-cost central station monitoring. But that's not all. You get free professional installation. Get it while it lasts today. The first 40 true oldies listeners call 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME.
1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. Order your My Pillow and get the best night's sleep just like I do every night.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you're looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love their authentic New England seafood, flown in fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls, clam chowder, and fried oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself. You will want to keep coming back for more at Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza on South US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open 7 days a week. For reservations or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at chowderheadsusa.com.
Got a minute.
Put off buying new tires because you thought they were too expensive? Find friendly prices at Friendly Tire in Margate on both new and used tires. New tires as low as $70 a tire. That's out the door and on the road because Friendly Tire doesn't charge you to balance the tire or mount the tire. They have thousands of used tires in stock too, starting at just $8. Call for a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977.
I'm editing some audio to put on play, and I didn't get done before the show. And all right, indeed, we are back. I'm Brian. It is the Steve Kane Show. Okay, so let's just get right into it. This is just god awful. This is the View. Joy Behar is the biggest culprit here, but nobody stopped her, nobody corrected her, except the audience. The audience was pretty disgusted. And you know, and the audience disgust that you're going to hear here in the View, the audience are sycophants. These are people that have traveled to New York City and decided to spend an entire morning with these ladies. Listen to this.
Country. He won by 40 points. He is a president for all Americans. I believe that, but he needs to show that he is. It was time for him to be.
I don't know why they would ever vote for him, for somebody who, by the way, he placed someone with deep ties to the chemical industry in charge of the EPA's Chemical Safety Office. That's who you voted for in that district. Donald Trump, who reduces all safety. He did in those days.
Do they realize that those voters saw something on the ground that probably resonates in a way that they need?
But they need to look past the photo ops, these people, and say, who's doing the job here? Forget about the photo op.
Showing up as a big
I think this is Donald Trump's fault.
Oh, she thinks it's Donald Trump's fault. Well, I'm glad, Sonny. Okay. So she said that Trump appointed somebody to be in charge of chemicals, something or rather, who's from the chemical industry. Well, that's where you go. You go to people that have an expertise in chemicals, who's a chemist or something, to put them in charge of such things. I don't know what that means. But what she told that, you know, what happened in East Palestine, this poisoning that's going on, we don't know how bad it is. We could find for decades people coming up with mysterious illnesses. Remember after 9/11? Everything that happened after 9/11? Because people were inhaling things from years and years from now. We could, hopefully we won't, but we very well could be hearing terrible stories out of East Palestine and the children and grandchildren and birth defects and God knows what else. And Joy Behar says, you got what you deserved. You voted for Trump. You know, this reminds me of a scene in the funniest movie ever made, Airplane. You guys remember Airplane? Which is a remake of a movie called 0 Hour, which is a drama. But anyway, in Airplane, when the disaster happens and they show news talking about it, you remember this part? They show this one guy who's doing like a talk show. He's supposed to be John McLaughlin. And he says, they knew what they were getting into. They bought their tickets. They knew what they were getting into. I say, let them crash. Remember that? And it's a joke and everyone's laughing because it's so absurd. That's what Joy Behar just said. You deserve this, East Palestine, Joy Behar said. You voted for Trump. You deserve to be poisoned by deadly chemicals. I told you guys yesterday about the denial of FEMA. And a lot of people didn't believe me, didn't want to believe me. This can't be our country. And here you have Joy Behar saying it. Now, I don't know if they're going to be on live today, because like I say, the Friday show is typically taped. They're going to hope by Monday this will be forgotten. I won't forget about it. Will you? Will East Palestine forget about it? Where's the governor of Ohio, Mr. Magoo? All right, let's take some calls. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. Now, as I said, Fridays is open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's program. You're not limited to the topics that we bring up. I would like to hear some thoughts, though, on The View and Joy Behar. And the thought I don't want to hear is, well, don't watch it! The View, oh, okay. All right, you know. The View is a gauge to feel the pulse of the left. When they say it on The View, that's what the liberals are thinking. Most liberals have the good sense not to say these things out loud. The coven of The View, well, they're unfiltered. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm John Mormino from Kansas City.
John from Kansas City? All right, go ahead.
I just first and foremost want to say that she has a responsibility, and so does the rest of the people on The View, to demonstrate sensibility. And I think by what she said just demonstrates that she has no understanding and is really an ignorant person, because that's just beyond sick. I mean, I think we could all agree with that.
Well, that's you know, yeah, that's exactly right. You know, she said they deserve this. They voted for Trump.
That's a sick thought, and that's a schizophrenic thought. I think she's mentally ill. I think they need to take her off The View, and the more they let that lady talk, the worse our society is going to get.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, before you go, I mean, look at this big to-do they made over Don Lemon talking about Nikki Haley being past her prime.
Maybe to cut you off, Brian. That's ridiculous. I mean, I think what he said was ignorant, but compared to what he said versus what she said, it should be on every newscast. That should be talked about by everyone, because what she said is just, not only is it upsetting, but it's disgusting. And that's the essence of what's wrong.
Well, you know, you're right, and you know, it used to be, you know, this is The View was part of ABC News. You know, remember Peter Jennings and all the. It used to be people in the networks used to be respected people, not low-life scumbags who say ugly things.
Oh, with respect, you're right, absolutely right.
Dignity. All right, hey Kansas City, thank you for the call. And you know, what Don Lemon said didn't hurt anyone. In fact, you could argue it helped, because Nikki Haley's been on TV all week, you know, talking about it. She's got a lot of free airtime. There are people that have lost everything, and they may lose their life and health because of this accident. And Joy Behar says they deserved it. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Dave from Virginia.
Hey, Dave. What's up?
Hey, can't they sue her for slander? The town?
No, that's not slander. That's just ugly stupidity.
Well, maybe they can lock her up for that.
Well, we don't want to lock people up based on speech. But, you know, this is America, not the Soviet Union. But, you know, this is a big problem we have in this country. This is how the liberals view Trump supporters, that we deserve to be poisoned by deadly chemicals, that trains with deadly chemicals that are on fire, we deserve to have these trains come through our community because we voted for Trump. I think what she said is mainstream liberal thinking, although the audience was disgusted by Joy.
Yeah, I was too after I heard that.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you, Brian.
All right, take care. Thanks for the call. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, you're right. That the covenant of the View, I mean, think about it. I mean, what is a covenant? But that's neither here nor there. She's been, Behar and the rest of them, well, mostly Behar, have been doing this for a very long time. She was there from the beginning of the show, right? When Barbara Walters first began the show, she's been there. So she's had a great number of years to say this type of stuff. You know.
Well, this is really bad. I mean, these are and by the way, so let's say 60%. It's between 60 and 70. I've heard both, but let's say 70. 70% of the voters in East Palestine voted MAGA, voted for Trump. So Joy Behar says they deserve to be poisoned. They did this to themselves. Well, what about all the people there that didn't vote for Trump? That means 30% of the voters didn't vote, and voter turnout's only really about 35% if you're lucky in a community. So 60% or more of the community, and there's children there too, didn't even vote. 30% of them voted Democrat. So she thinks that people that didn't vote and children who can't vote and the 30% of Democrats, do they deserve to be poisoned too, Joy Behar?
Apparently she does. I mean, look, the quality of that show went down when they decided to have, when what's her name, Barbara Walters decided to step back from it. You know?
This show's always been this bad. It was this way when Barbara Wawa was over there. It's always been this way on The View. The show has been a show of poison from the day it went on the air. And it's gotten worse. And these women on that show have gotten very emboldened with their ugliness. She is a terrible, terrible person. Listen, Mike, I'm late for the break. Thanks for the call. Callers on hold. Stand by. We'll be right back.
Making morning radio great again. I think you're gonna really love it. It's the Steve
Be right back, guys.
with Brian Craig.
Be right back.
Explore the wonders of space with Your Space Journey, hosted by Chuck Fields. Your Space Journey is the perfect podcast for space fans, featuring interviews with space exploration leaders, including astronauts, scientists, and engineers. Each episode dives into how these amazing individuals grew their passion for space exploration into successful careers and gives insight into the current projects or companies. Your Space Journey also includes coverage and discussions about the latest and upcoming rocket launches, as well as news on the latest space-related tech. Tune into Your Space Journey with host Chuck Fields. Available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Oh, there you go. Perfection.
I just put it back and I just took it from that room.
I was going to do that. I didn't see it in there. I looked over there. Appreciate it. Oh, it's connected to the keyboard.
Yeah.
Okay, so which is which?
I slide it out, but it's like stuck in there.
It'll probably take me a couple of breaks. There we go.
You can also find Your Space Journey on YouTube. Start listening right now. Listening right now.
I'm doing production on a commercial that has to air towards the end of the show, and I didn't quite get it done before the show. So during the show, I'm doing audio production on a commercial I recorded right before I went on the air. I'll be right back, guys. I didn't say anything to him. I didn't want to make you feel bad, but you know. All right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I've got this commercial that's got to play in the last hour of the show, and I don't have the production done on it yet. So I'm over here on my laptop trying to finish it. I did the recording before the show, but didn't get a chance to finish it. So during the breaks, I got to go and finish it so it can run in the last hour. I know it's nuts. Behind this, you guys get all the behind the scenes when you watch on YouTube. You should buy it anyway. No, I don't watch this show either. But what I was saying about The View, though, is very true. They say what all the liberals are thinking, but have the good sense not to say out loud. But I don't know what kind of apology. I mean, this is beyond just an apology. You know, this is more than just an apology. There needs to be a very public national conversation on what happened on The View. Yes. We're coming back. Yeah, there's one opening at 1-888-GO-K1 if you'd like to call in. It's one of those days, people. You know, you really should watch what the other side are saying and doing. You really should. You got to know where they're coming from. You know, you really do. That's right. Oh, man, I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. If you're on hold, stand by. Just want to quickly tell people about the incredible new invention by Mike Lindell. And notice Mike Lindell, he's still out there fighting for MAGA. He's going after Kevin McCarthy. He wants everyone, not just Tucker, to have access to the J6 footage, and he'll be successful with that, Mike Lindell. But Mike Lindell has done what, hey, listen. He's the Thomas Edison of sleep. I'm not an inventor or an innovator like Mike Lindell. If Mike Lindell said, I'm going to improve the MyPillow, I would say, Mike Lindell, that's impossible. How can you improve perfection? The MyPillow, right? With that patented fill that stops you from tossing and turning all night. And he did. He developed the MyPillow 2.0 with cooling technology. I've been sleeping on it for 2.5 weeks now. Your head and face will never get warm or hot ever again with the MyPillow 2.0. You'll never flip your pillow over again. You know, when you flip your pillow over, even if you don't remember it, you woke up. You interrupted your sleep. You're no longer in REM sleep. You'll never flip your pillow over again. They're buy one, get one free with our promo code Kane at checkout at mypillow.com, Kane. That's mypillow.com. Promo code Kane, Kane, at checkout. Get the MyPillow 2.0. Buy one, get one free. My wife and I each have one because we took advantage of the BOGO offer. You can also order by phone, toll free, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, Kane. All right, if you're just tuning in, it is open phones, but just to recap, Joy Behar said the people in East Palestine got what they deserved. They voted for Trump. Wow. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Richie. Good morning to you.
Hey, Richie.
Weekend coming. I have a comment here. I agree 150% with Joy Behar. I mean, she is a great little communist. I mean, and if you're a communist, you gotta love her. You got Pete Buttigieg. He did the same thing, by the way. He blamed President Trump. You see, but the people out there...
No. We're not... No. Richie, no. we're not talking about this knee-jerk blame of President Trump. You're old enough to remember the Democrats used to blame everything on Reagan till like 2000, right? No, this is not blaming Trump. Joy Behar said the people of East Palestine deserved this because they voted for Trump. This is about these people in East Palestine who lost everything. They're going to lose their businesses, their homes, and they may even lose their health. Yeah.
Their life. It's all about deregulation, Brian. That's what it is. And this accident was caused by a ball bearing and a wheel, but they were blaming it on deregulation because they want to control us every way you could look with their regulations. They want to hire as many people to watch over us and so we have no freedom.
You know, on 9/11, you know, just talking in particular just about the tower hits, okay, not the other places, D.C. and Pennsylvania. You know, that's the center of American liberalism, New York City. And we joined together as one. There were no Republicans. There were no Democrats. We didn't say, you liberal New Yorkers, you're a Democrat. You got what you deserve. That's sick. What Joy Behar said is not just sick and irresponsible. It's a sign of derangement. She is not a mentally fit person.
None of them are. What about the one that's a Republican that's up there? I forgot her name. She's another big mouth. I don't watch that crap, but they're poisoning America. I wonder what the ratings are. I mean, think about all these little old people that sit home all day long watching this garbage.
It's frightening.
I can't say, but it's frightening. They're communists, man. A whole damn bunch of them. They're all commies, man. If you vote, MAGA is freedom. MAGA is darn right America. MAGA is religion. MAGA is, and these people are anti-everything we're for. Communism is what they're for.
Okay, like for example, this mass shooting that happened at the Pulse nightclub in Orlando a few years ago, a gay nightclub. No one said, these guys are gay, they deserve, that's sick. That's mental illness.
Yeah, it's mental. But the difference is that we're decent people, and they're not. That's the bottom line. A decent person wouldn't take somebody when they're down and kick them, but these people do because they want to take over. But they have to lie their way through life. And she's anti-capitalism, but yet she's a rich.
I'm sure she's a millionaire. They pay a lot of money to work an hour a day, 4 days a week on The View.
But she don't believe in our system. But for her it's great, but for everyone else it's not. I mean,
yeah.
She wants the government to control you. That's all it's all about.
All right, Richie. I appreciate it. Take care. Yeah, I agree. Let me play the clip again so people that are just tuning in can hear it. This is The View yesterday, and it's pretty bad.
This is Trump country. He won by 40 points. He is a president for all Americans. I believe that, but he needs to show that he is. It was time for him to be.
I don't know why they would ever vote for him. For somebody who, by the way, he placed someone with deep ties to the chemical industry in charge of the EPA's Chemical Safety Office.
My goodness, Donald Trump put an expert in chemicals, like a chemist in charge of the chemical regulation area at the EPA. My God, maybe he should have put someone that doesn't even drive a car, and like Pete, in charge of the transportation department.
Who you voted for in that district? Donald Trump, who reduces all safety. He did.
Do they realize that those voters saw something on the ground that probably resonates in a way?
I talked over the key parts. Let me rewind it.
Voted for in that district. Who, by the way, he placed someone with deep ties to the chemical industry in charge of the EPA's Chemical Safety Office. That's who you voted for in that district. Donald Trump, who reduces all safety. He did.
Do they realize that those voters saw something on the ground that probably resonates in a way that they need?
But they need to look past the photo ops, these people, and say, who's doing the job here? Forget about the photo ops.
Showing up is a big thing.
I think this is Donald Trump's fault.
I think this is Donald Trump's fault. Okay. When Joy Behar said these people deserve what they got in East Palestine, and the audience went, they were like, wow. They were like disgusted by Joy Behar. You saw even Joy Behar knew she stepped over the line there, and she said, they did. He did. Right? She tried to re-emphasize it. Oh, my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once, twice. All right, that's the liberal response. Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, how you doing?
All right, what's your name?
My name is Maria.
Oh, hey, Maria.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
I heard that yesterday, and I wanted to puke up. I was disgusted. You guys, and I want to send a message right now on your radio station to them. You guys on The View, get a reality check. These are people that can lose everything, including their life. They can't breathe. They can't do anything. And you calling them out like this, saying Donald Trump fault. It's not Donald Trump's fault for none of this. We have a leader in the White House that don't stand up for the American people. Just because you didn't get their vote, that don't mean you can just do the things that you do and abandon them to go to Ukraine. I am sick of this. I'm tired of the lies.
Well, what Joy Behar said was, if you voted for Trump, you deserve to die.
Yeah. Basically, that's what she said.
You know, I voted for him twice, 4 times if you include the primaries. I'm going to vote for him again in the primaries and again. Do I deserve to die, Joy Behar? I voted for Trump 4 times if you include the primaries. And now, and now we're going to do it again. Do I deserve to die? My daughter voted for Trump, Joy Behar. What does she deserve? You know,
they don't care. They don't care. They deranged. They are out of touch. They are Marxists. I'm sick and tired of people trying to use these people on these shows and make up all kind of stuff about the American people. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Enough is enough.
I agree. Thank you for your call, Maria, from Florida there. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. We're going to take our last break of the first hour. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. It is open phones, open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's program. You're not limited to the topics I bring up, but I do really want to hear your thoughts on what happened on The View yesterday. This is so far over the lines of decency and bad taste. I've not seen something so ugly on television before. I'm telling you, I've not. Not that I can think of. This is ABC News that runs that show. We'll be right back after this.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered more.
Be right back, guys. I'm multitasking, guys. I'm sorry. Hope you don't mind. Just during the breaks, I'm multitasking.
We have non-surgical solutions that include rehab and injections that can prevent you from having to have surgery or prolong the surgery. We've been in practice for 75 years in South Florida. You don't have to live with pain any longer. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the
All right, we're back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Open phones today, Open MAGA Mike Friday. We're talking about these vile ladies on The View. Callers on hold, stand by. If you or someone you know or love suffer from neuropathy, you know they are suffering hardcore. I mean, it's living hell. It really is. And doctors will tell you there's no treatment. That is your life now. Neuropathy. Get used to it. Go home and deal with it. Well, that's not the case. Steve had every neuropathy symptom there is, and we were really concerned. We had an appearance coming up, you know, the one that we did at the Festival Flea Market where the guys with guns threw us out. Remember that? A lot of you were there. And our cruise, and Steve's like, this neuropathy, all these symptoms, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And we found Lighthouse Medical Center. And they rid Steve of all of his neuropathy symptoms. And they've done the same for many people in this listening audience. They have a treatment at Lighthouse Medical Center to rid you of your neuropathy symptoms that works. I've seen it work, not just in Steve, but many of our listeners. The numbness, the pain, the burning, the tingling in the hands and feet, the muscle weakness, the dizziness, muscle twitching, that feeling of pins and needles, which is incredibly painful in the hands and feet. Or sometimes people don't even have feeling, no sensation. All that will be gone. Give Lighthouse Medical Center a call. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio, okay? Because then you get a no-charge consultation, all right? And if you have a family member or a friend, call and set up an appointment for them and take them. Say bye-bye to your neuropathy and call them. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. 754-222-6642. And online, lighthousemedicalcenter.com. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Sandra from Boca. How are you?
All right, Sandra, what's up?
So, wow, what you said this morning, I just had to call in. That's a disgusting statement. Disgusting. And you know what really gets me? Is that they have always criticized Trump for dividing the country. Oh, he divides the country. He puts this group against this group, and he puts all this hate amongst people. But what was that? They have the highest level of hypocrisy I have ever seen, ever. To say something as low as that they deserved it, that's crazy.
Well, you know, I've been a broadcaster my whole life. Since I was 18, 19 years old, I've been doing this. I'm 51 years old now, okay? You know, and there's certain standards and practices that I abide by just because I'm a decent person. I'm not talking about rules from the radio station. They don't give me rules here. I'm not talking about government rules. I'm talking about the responsibility to be a decent human being while broadcasting. And what Joy Behar said yesterday is sick. It's twisted. It is over the line. She needs to have her head examined. She's not a normal person. Something is wrong with that lady.
Well, they always have to. It's always go round and round and round, and let's talk about Trump. They're obsessed with it. You know.
Yeah, but this was beyond Trump. You know, if you notice with President Trump, people say, "Oh, he's mean." He never talks about the voters, the Democrat voters. He talks about the Democrat politicians.
Yes.
I don't think people realize that a lot, but he never attacks the people.
No. As a matter of fact, he tries to bring people together and say, "Listen, this is what it really is. Please consider this." He's not a guy that like forces his opinion upon people, but he does make it clear on what is going on in this country. And to actually think that we have to sit there and watch this kind of TV every day now with this kind of commentary, I don't even watch TV anymore.
Well, listen, I don't watch The View, But this is, listen, remember we were talking yesterday after President Trump's visit, the governor of Ohio, Mr. Magoo there, this rhino jerk, requested FEMA. Biden said no. And I said yesterday, because this is a MAGA town, no FEMA for you. You should be poisoned and die. And people, I don't know. And then Joy Behar said it. She said it out loud, and she said it on national television on the ABC network, and she works for the ABC News division. She said it. You voted for Trump. You deserve this.
Yeah, I would like to see if it's her family out there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, an apology on the air at the beginning ain't going to cut it. You know, Whoopi just made all these anti-Semitic comments, as she, you know, and she didn't apologize. You know, she gave a half of an apology. There comes a point where people got to be reeled in, and
arrogance. It's a level of arrogance. I am who I am. I'm a celebrity. I get paid millions of dollars, and I can pretty much say what I feel. But you know what? That's not how it. That's not right. I'm sorry.
Well, listen. These are Americans, and this is the thing. I was talking to the caller before the bottom of the hour. 70% of the town voted for Trump, so she says they deserve to be poisoned and die. Well, that means 30% of the voters did not vote for Trump. They voted for the Democrat, right? And also, what percentage of the community did not vote? How many of them are children and can't vote? So, you know, typically, if you get a good voter turnout, you got 35% voter turnout, right? So 30% of the voters voted Democrat, and 60 to 65% of them didn't even vote that were eligible, and then you got children. So do those people deserve to be poisoned too? Joy Behar, what are you talking about, you sick woman?
Yeah, she should really reflect on what she...
I'm tired of them going over the line and then giving half of an apology and then moving on to talk to... and then look at this thing she did with Liam Neeson, talking about her sexual fantasies to Liam Neeson the other day on the air. Did you see that? Oh my goodness. Yeah, in the middle of the day. 11 o'clock in the morning, she's talking about her sexual fantasies on television with to Liam Neeson, that fantasies she had about him for years.
Oh boy.
All right, take care.
Well, all right, talk to you later, bro.
All right, man, I know they're low lives over there. Good morning, you're on the air.
George from Albany, New York.
Hey.
Look, I want to commend you for one thing. When accurate, you've been saying everything accurate, but what you just said about Donald Trump. He never denigrated the Democrat voter. He always talked about the Democrat politicians. He never once tried to divide this country, Democrat, Republican, as far as the voter goes. So I commend you for that.
Well, thank you.
Biden, on the other hand, denigrates half the country. I never heard a president say that. Talking about half the voters in this country, more than half the voters in this country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's going on here? I know the president is shocked.
Well, okay. This is, I'm hearing myself in the background, so I don't know if you got if you're on Bluetooth or speaker.
I'm on speakerphone.
Yeah, take it off speaker because it's echoing with me. Okay. No, so let me. And I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna mute you while I'm talking because I'm hearing myself in the background in an echo. Democrats segregated black people from white kids in school. Democrats enslaved black people. Democrats put Americans of Japanese descent in concentration camps during the Second World War. Democrats did medical experiments on black people, the Tuskegee experiments. All these things there's many other things, okay? Democrats have never been decent people. They've always been this way. It's just now more obvious than it used to be.
The big question should be, what's to be gained by the press by allowing this, or by moving to the left as the press has? What's to be gained? What's the big picture from the press and the media as a whole? What do they have in mind for this country?
Well, this is how they view Trump voters. Trump voters deserve to die. That's what she said.
Well, first of all, she should be removed. She's filth. I don't know if I could say that on the radio. On your program, she's filth. She should be removed from that show and never ever allowed to have a platform on a national media segment again. I don't know what to say. Those people in East Palestine, they are in trouble.
Well, not only are they in trouble, the business owners are going to lose their business. No one's going to go there and do business. The homeowners, God help them, the home values just plummeted. And an after effect may be they may die, okay? Or certainly have long-term health complications that we'll be hearing about for generations.
Their health, that should have been evacuated immediately. As a matter of fact, as far as entrepreneurs, people losing their business and livelihood, people losing values of the house, the government should make them whole for that. They should have been evacuated, put in FEMA maybe you don't like that term, FEMA residences or something away from that town. Because that's a disaster area. And how anybody could stand there with a clear conscience and say, drink the water, like DeWine, the governor there, along with the EPA, whoever he was in the kitchen there. That's ridiculous. How can, and good conscience, how could they do that? How could they do that? Anybody with a brain, with a good conscience, how could they do that?
That was so stupid and amateurish. I mean, you know, that I've never seen something so dumb done at that level of government. I really haven't.
A couple of things could have gone. I don't know how stupid you want to deviate down into this, but that could have been water that was completely purified by some sort of gadget underneath the sink or something that had nothing to do with well water.
Well, and even if it is the local well water, who's to say that you're going to drop dead immediately or grow a sixth toe when you drink it? Maybe it'll take 6 months or 6 years to have the after effects. And it looked like they were sipping to me. I didn't see them drink down a whole bottle's worth of it. Come on.
Exactly. Now that town should have been evacuated. Listen, thank you for your time.
All right, thank you for your call. Great calls today, by the way. 888-GO-CANE-1. There's less than a minute till the top of the hour break, so I'm not going to take any calls till after the top of the hour, because I'll just have to cut you off. You won't have time to complete really any thoughts. So if you're on hold, stand by. There's an opening at 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. My name's Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. This is an important topic we're talking about this morning, and it's really revealing about the left. Joy Behar said, East Palestine voted for Trump. They deserve this. That's what she said. I'll play the audio again after the break. And remember, Alexa, play True Oldies FLA. Alexa, Volume 6. Hey, Google, play True Oldies FLA. Hey, Google, Volume 6. There you go. I gotta say it loud to turn on the devices from the radio in the background. We'll be right back.
WWNA Pompano Beach. WIRK.
Wow. What a day, guys. Yeah, I started yesterday drinking my coffee black, and man, has it made a difference. Because that sugar, you get that, I like creamer, I like half of that, but it's got sugar in it. You get that sugar crash, and the black coffee's not that bad. I'm starting to get used to it. I used to drink my coffee black. I don't put sugar in it. Then I just started putting creamer, and now I'm getting used to the black again. Oh, boy. Welcome, everyone. Listen, make sure you like the video, all right? Please like the video. That helps a lot. And if you're new, please subscribe. Rome, you've got your MyPillow 2.0s, don't you? Mike from Louisiana was raving about how much he loves his last Friday. Who else has the MyPillow 2.0s? Rome has them. I have them. Did you feel it with your hand, Rome, so you feel it's cool to the touch? It's amazing. You have them too? Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, they are very nice. Well, everything Mike Lindell makes is high quality. Remember, they're buy one, get one free, the MyPillow 2.0s, when you use my promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, and it's a great way to support the show and all the content, my podcast, the radio show, my YouTube channel here. When you use our promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, it does a lot of support for us. Exactly. My wife was telling me women that, because I didn't think about this, she said women that, you know, the night sweats, heat flashes, hot flashes are part of menopause. She says the MyPillow 2.0 is great for women who are going through menopause. Well, great. Yeah, make sure you use the promo code KANE, guys, K-A-N-E. I'm telling you, they're selling big time, probably mainly because of you guys in this audience. You guys are buying them up because I talking about them so much. I didn't realize how great it would be. I'm going out of town this morning when I get off the air at 9. I'm not going home. I'm heading straight up the road. I'm excited. Menopause, yeah. Male version of menopause is called andropause, but I call it manopause. Kind of duh. I should have trademarked manopause. One day next week, I'll remember to bring my MyPillow 2.0 in again to show you guys. Well, good. You can get 4 for the price of 2 then. It's a good deal. Well, thank you, Chris. Trumpy Bear's at home. One day next week, I'm going to make a vlog giving you a tour of the radio studio and the radio station. Remember, I did one of the old one, and then when it was being torn apart. This one's still being built. It's not 100% done yet, but it's close enough where I can do the vlog. They even put new ceiling tiles in the ceiling here. This is so cool. This is like a surgeon's, a doctor could come in here and perform surgery in here. There's 3 keyboards, because I got all these computers here. Each keyboard's a different color for the computer it goes to. The mouse is the color of the keyboard. It's nuts. Kathy's doing well, thanks for asking. I was just texting with her. She's up. I haven't seen her in the chat yet, though. See, like, here's one of the
told me my blood pressure is borderline.
mouse.
I figured I could worry about it or do something about it. So I took control.
Oh, no. I like this much better.
It works safely and naturally to help maintain healthy blood pressure with a custom blend of garlic, vitamins, and minerals. And it's odor-free. I'm taking charge with Garlic Healthy Blood Pressure Formula.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, give them a call. Even if you're out of town, they can help you. All right, hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. If you're on hold, stand by. It is open phones, but Joy Behar said the people of East Palestine deserved what they got. They voted for Trump. She said it on The View yesterday.
This is Trump country. He won by 40 points. He is a president for all Americans. I believe that, but he needs to show that he is. It was time for him to be.
I don't know why they would ever vote for him for somebody who, by the way, he placed someone with deep ties to the chemical industry in charge of the EPA's Chemical Safety Office. That's who you voted for in that district. Donald Trump, who reduces all safety. He did.
Just like showed up at
Did
McDonald's and those voters saw something on the ground that probably resonates in a way
That's
that
the
they
thing.
need.
But they need to look past the photo ops, these people, and say who's doing the job here. Forget about the photo ops.
Showing up is a big
Showing
thing.
up.
I think this is Donald Trump's fault.
Wow. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. You're on the air.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I don't know if you mentioned these two things, and if you have, just cut me off. But the person in charge of train safety and derailments stated yesterday, this person works with the NTSB, stated yesterday that what caused the derailment was not having, it wasn't because it didn't have the ECP brakes. It was because of a wheel bearing failure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The train, because it carried mixed cargo, didn't qualify for those brakes. And even if it did have those brakes, the derailment would have happened anyway, because when the bearing went, so did the axle, and you had the train derailment. The other thing, they're not testing. Experts are going crazy. They're not testing for dioxins in the water, in the air, and in the soil in Ohio, wherever this stuff is creeping to. And dioxins, they attach themselves to wherever they land, in people and animals, in your crops. All of us have the potential of being affected by this. The vinyl chloride, when you burn it, it changes to the phosgen gas, if I'm saying it right.
Well, this town in the surrounding area, because it's gone over to Pennsylvania too. This is like the Andromeda strain there. Yeah. Well, the town should be shut down, evacuated. These people should be moved into FEMA housing. Their mortgages should be taken care of, and that's it. I mean, this town, sadly, may never be safe to live in again, or not for many years. The water is poison. Oh my goodness! Wow.
In Pennsylvania, and they have been affected. They had a meeting yesterday, and the only people that showed up were the governor, and I think it was just, I was listening to the Steve Bannon, America's Voice. They were the only ones that were there. None of the media was there.
Yeah.
And these were people in Pennsylvania that are getting rashes. They're having all kinds of health problems. Their pets are getting sick, and no one's talking about that.
Well, we're trying. Yeah, Daddy. Well, before we get to him, what are your thoughts on what happened on The View yesterday? I think that's one of the ugliest things I've ever heard said about Americans on national TV, on the spot. Yeah. Gasped. You know, yesterday. Listen, this is a tragedy. But yesterday, America was saved from Buttigieg. Buttigieg, who was being groomed to be something, his political career ended yesterday when he went out there dressed like a crossing guard and wearing goggles and a hard hat for some reason. He looked like an idiot. He made a fool out of himself. And his political career is over.
Well, the media will try to save him. They blame Trump for everything. And when he mentioned him being responsible and because of the ECP break, he hung himself. Because you have the NTSB coming right out and saying no.
The ball bearing. The ball bearing. Well, listen. Yesterday, when Mayor Pete was, I'm going to talk more about him later. My entire podcast last night was on Mayor Pete's visit, by the way. So if you guys, check it out. My podcast is on. Oh yeah, my podcast is on all podcast platforms, the Brian Craig Show podcast. But Mayor Pete yesterday, if you watch that footage, they kept him away from the people. He didn't go near one resident. He was only around the press and controlled officials. And the people of East Palestine didn't get anywhere near him. They cleared them out so that they wouldn't ask him questions or yell at him or say names. It was awful what they did. President Trump went right into the McDonald's, went right into the crowd and talked to them. Mayor Pete, they had him so insulated yesterday. There was not a regular person within sight of him. No.
We wouldn't be hearing one thing. They are so grateful to Trump. I saw where they have a sign thanking him over one of the commercial buildings or something. And I've heard interviews with them. I'm sure you have too.
Mm-hmm.
But Buttigieg, he's just saying that the EPA was there day one. Oh, no, they were not. They relied on the in-house Norfolk Southern chemical test or whatever, to test for the toxins in the soil. And he says, oh, everything's fine. And it wasn't fine. And also,
Buttigieg.
Oh, there you go. Sorry,
He's
guys.
the one.
Thanks, Rome.
He's the one that said, just evacuate people from a 1 mile radius. And then brought them back. And they hadn't even tested for toxins. Those people don't even know what toxins.
And how is this going to affect children? And how is this going to? Any pregnant women been exposed? Listen, I got. Yeah, that's right. I got to run for a break, but thanks for the call. Great calls today, by the way. Incredible calls today on the program, I must say. Very sharp people on the phones. All right, there's one opening at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE-1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig on Oldies 95.9 and 106.9.
Hey, it's Scott Shannon, and who doesn't want to have a home security system? So, by popular demand, we're bringing it back. Who wants a free doorbell camera? I wish I could give everyone a free doorbell camera, but I can't. I can give the first 40 true oldies channel listeners who call today a free doorbell camera. 1-800-ALARM-ME. You'll get a free limited camera that connects directly to your phone with installation of your Sloman Shield. The doorbell camera is part of a free $1,500 customized security system. Now you're probably wondering what comes in this package. Well, you're going to get a free LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 armed doors, and a backup battery.
Oh, man, I tell you. Sometimes you really get to see what people are truly like. And this terrible tragedy in Ohio, you're getting to see what the left are all about, aren't you? Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it needs to be seen. It's got to be seen. Not really. No, I know. I've worked in radio since I was 19 years old, man. There's some profanities you can't use, and that's basically it. Between midnight and 5 a.m. you can say anything. The profanities are even allowed. I mean, I'm on 6 radio stations. I've talked on the radio every morning of my whole life. Believe me, I know the rules. But there's some things that are just about decency. And she's not a decent person, Joy Behar. Well, thank you, Rom.
Make your home energy efficient, cut your electric bills up to 50%, and pay little or even nothing for the repairs. Make sure you get your fair share of the Inflation Reduction Act. Rebates up to $14,000 per year. Funds available on a first-come, first-served basis. Rebate programs for low to moderate income families up to $150,000 of income. $14,000 per year. This is huge. You can use this money for insulation and radiant barrier. Up to $2,800 available. Hybrid hot water heaters up to $3,750 available. AC units up to $10,000 available. Electric panel upgrades up to $6,600. And after we reduce your home consumption by 35% or more, you get additional rebate money of $4,000 to $8,000 if you qualify. To find out how much you qualify for, call me 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500.
All right, coming back.
Kilowatts.com and fill out the form.
On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show with Brian.
All right, callers on hold, stand by. Remember, Fridays is open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Anything and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's program. You're not limited to the topics that we bring up. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. I've been talking about the most disgusting thing that's ever happened on American national television with one of our networks, and that is what happened with Joy Behar on The View yesterday. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. Of course, Tom Laporta is a good MAGA guy, and he'll never sell you a roof you do not need. Do you hear any other roofers say that? They'll never sell you a roof you don't need? No, none of them other would say that, do they? No. Tom Laporta does because it's true. He's an honest guy. Now, there's some great new regulations involving the insurance industry here in the state of Florida, courtesy of the greatest governor ever, Ron DeSantis. Now, this is absolutely amazing. If you have a roof that's damaged, it's compromised, it's in need of repair, something's happened, call your insurance company. After that, call Tom Laporta. The new regulations allow Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting to deal directly with your insurance company on the cost of the repair. This is very important. I've been through this, okay? I wish I didn't know Tom then, and they didn't have these new laws then, but I had an issue years ago where I needed a new roof, and the insurance company wanted me to get a repair, and it was damaged bad from a storm, from a hurricane. I don't remember which one. And I had to get a public adjuster, and they got me a settlement for the cost of the repair. Problem was that public adjuster, their fee was 20% of what the insurance company gave me. So I had to come up with that other 20% for the repair. Isn't that crazy? So if a roof costs $5,000, a public adjuster gets $1,000. The roof still costs $5,000. You got to come up with that other $1,000 out of your pocket. And the numbers go up because they get 20%. Now that Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting can negotiate on the cost of the repair directly with your insurance company, you're bypassing that public adjuster. You don't have to reach into your pocket. Some people even hire attorneys who specialize in going after the insurance company. I don't know what they charge, but I bet it's more than that adjuster too. And that can really add up on some big jobs. Don't go through that. Call Tom Laporta. He'll take care of everything for you. He covers the entire state of Florida. This number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. That's 954-604-4602. And online, laportacontracting.com. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Oh, hey, Doug.
Thank you for bringing this up because I never would have heard about it because the media probably won't say anything. And that's exactly, she took exactly what our President Biden is thinking. You know, the guy, besides all the things we know about him, you could tell he's vindictive and he's uncaring. And she took it and just let everybody know what they're all saying, they're all thinking behind the scenes because they hate us and they'll do anything they can. If he really was a good president but had these feelings, he would have sent FEMA out there and told them don't do anything. But he wanted to make sure everybody knows that he doesn't like over there because 70% voted Republican. And this is really a miserable guy, man. This guy,
Well, but yeah, I know. All right, I appreciate the call. Now, I'm going to bring up some other things, but we will recap this later because it's so vile, so disgusting. It's got to be discussed. It's got to be exposed. But there were two moments with Jean-Pierre yesterday. Oh. Did you catch what happened with Jean-Pierre yesterday? There's a lot of speculation on who is running the White House, who's running the government. And there have been lots of theories. And yesterday, Jean-Pierre blew it. Listen to this. This is yesterday. This is yesterday. White House press briefing. Turn your radios up a bit for this. This one, turn your radios up a couple notches, okay? Because you want to hear this. I'm going to play it a couple times in a row. It's a short clip. Jean-Pierre slipped yesterday. Listen.
Okay, so today, as you all saw just an hour or so ago, President Obama announced that, President Biden.
Wow. President Obama. Now, yeah, a lot of people, I know. She said the quiet part out loud. I'll play the rest of it. I'll play it again in a moment. A lot of people believe, and I believe this too, that Obama is running the country. And he has some representatives over there at the White House. One of them is Susan Rice, who just got a big appointment by Biden to something. And, a lot of people have wondered how did Kamala Harris get picked to be vice president? And, she went after Biden. The Bidens hate her. And the word is that Obama told Biden to pick Kamala Harris. He's got some kind of relationship with her. I'm not speculating on what that relationship is. You guys can. But Obama wanted it and made it happen. So listen, this is Jean-Pierre. This is yesterday, people.
Okay, so today, as you all saw just an hour or so ago, President Obama announced that, President Biden. Whoa! That is news.
Mm-hmm. She didn't say it was a slip. She said it's news. Mm-hmm. But then, right now, there is a lot of suffering going on in America. And not just in East Palestine. There's a lot of suffering going on there. Prices are through the roof on everything, including food, which is a necessity of life. And it's not just the luxury items that have gone up. It's the basic necessities like eggs and milk, right? Those are the things that are going up, the bare necessities of food. And a lot of the problems we have in this country, we talk about this all the time, is because we have unqualified people running the agencies of the federal government. They're picked because they check off a box. So this next clip, this is Jean-Pierre in the press conference yesterday as well. Same day she said Obama's president. Isn't that interesting? Little slip. See, you know how that happens? That slip when she says President Obama? Obama is involved in the meetings. He's not physically there. He probably does it over the phone or Skype or something, or Zoom, or on the speakerphone or something. Or that probably happens sometimes. And then his representatives, like Susan Rice of Benghazi fame, who works at the White House, relays messages and says, President Obama wants us to do this, President Obama this and that. And when they're in meetings behind closed doors that Jean-Pierre is there, involved in, either Obama is there on the phone, Skype or Zoom, or one of his ambassadors at the White House, like Susan Rice, is relaying a message from President Obama, and that's why that happened. She just came out of a meeting where that type of thing happened, okay? That's why she made that slip. So then, in the same press conference yesterday, listen to this. She was bragging. She was bragging about the Biden administration. Listen.
I want to take the opportunity to lay out how diverse the president's cabinet has been, how diverse the president's administration has been. The cabinet is majority people of color for the first time in history. The cabinet is majority female for the first time in history. A majority of White House senior staff identify as female. 40% of White House senior staff identify as part of the racially diverse communities. and a record 7 assistants to the president are openly LGBTQ+. So again, this is something that the president prides himself on, that he actually has taken action to show the diversity of this administration.
Wow, yeah, they're gay, they're black, they're women, and the largest numbers ever, but they can't do anything. There's a train derailment. People have been poisoned. They can't help the people. They don't know how. But he's gay. Check. We're proud of that. Prices through the roof. Yeah, but a woman's running the Treasury. Scary. It's scary, but it gets worse. And I got a question for you after the break. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again. I think you gotta really love it. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Okay. Somebody made a comment on one of my YouTube videos that I saw this morning that brought up something I'm going to throw out on the air when I get back. They said that Dwight Eisenhower's mother was black, which means that Obama was not the first black president, Eisenhower was. And I looked it up, and there's a lot of research saying that President Eisenhower's mother was mulatto. Have any of you heard that before? And I never heard that before or anything, and I was reading up on it this morning, and there's a lot of research into this that's been going on for several years. No, it's not her first slip on that. I've never heard that before. And they said that you can't find photographs of General Eisenhower with his mother, and I have not been able to find one yet either. Yes or no, that thing about Eisenhower's mother being mulatto, is that true? I've never heard that before. I haven't had time to really research it because I just saw it when I was coming to the radio station this morning getting my coffee. Now, I've looked at the pictures. There's no color photographs of her. I don't know. You can't disprove it? Well, I'm interested in it because that would show that the first black president was a Republican then. I never heard that either, D. Look, Google it, guys, and read up on it. Oh, don't go to Snoops. That's a propaganda tool of the left. No, you can't go by Snoops. I was surprised how much has been written about it online when I Googled it. Alrighty, we're back. It is Friday. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. And of course, Friday is open phones. We call it Open Mega Mic Friday. Anything and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's program. Okay. You know, Florida is in the national news like every day. And it's been this way even before DeSantis. Right? There was always something scandalous going on in Florida, right? Casey Anthony, George Zimmerman. You know, I mean, there's always something scandalous in the news in Florida. You know, now got the alligator thing going on with the lady we're talking about. There is a Florida teacher who not only is in the national news, this liberal teacher, they are in the global news. They have done something. There's a Florida liberal school teacher that has gone so far over the line in Black History Month that they've made worldwide news. And this is very, very frightening. And we found out about it. When I say we, I mean everybody in the media through Libs of TikTok. Libs of TikTok is amazing. Libs of TikTok is a Twitter account that a conservative woman has who monitors liberals on TikTok and posts their videos on her Twitter. And Libs of TikTok has affected policy. You know, Ron DeSantis took over Walt Disney World, took over the Reedy Creek, that thing up there in Walt Disney World. What Ron DeSantis did to Disney World, taking it over, was a direct result of Libs of TikTok. Libs of TikTok is one of the most effective conservative activist in the history of America, has really done more than people like Pat Robertson and others, and is really amazing. And she uncovered something new that is insane. This is completely insane. And I'll have to read about it to you because it's a video, and I can't show you a video on the radio, but I'll just read you this story. Florida middle school teacher is slammed for using black sixth graders as political props and getting their white students to bow down to the black students. A teacher, it was a Black History Month skit. In the controversial video posted to TikTok, Florida school teacher Ethan Hooper's student fan and feed 3 black classmates before bowing down to them in the skit. He's a 29-year-old 6th grade language arts teacher. Or no, it says language teacher. Does that mean Spanish? I don't know. He's been placed on leave and is expected to be terminated, according to the school district. Where in Florida was this? Orlando. The video is disturbing. 6th grade's what, 11, 12? It's been a while. I think 11, 12. And he had his black students line up, sit down in chairs, and had the white students, they were fanning them, you know, like in the old days of the antebellum South, like, you know, like on Terra. And then the white students bowed down in front of the black students, and he filmed this, and he put it on TikTok. And this has been a trend of white people bowing down to black people. You've seen this happen. Pelosi's done it. Biden did it. Remember that? After the George Floyd thing, it's became a trend. And I know, isn't this something? And what's scary about this happening in Orlando, Florida here with this teacher is this 29-year-old liberal teacher, he didn't realize that he would get in trouble for this. He filmed it. This wasn't a hidden camera in his classroom. He filmed it and put it up on TikTok with his face and name connected to it. He thought it was okay. He thought this was a great lesson, and he was bragging about it. He didn't even realize what he did was wrong. And what's happened here, and we see these school teachers make the news pretty much once a week, doing different things, and and I've talked about a lot of them over the last year or so, since this Libs of TikTok has become such a trend. We have a new generation of school teachers. You know, it used to be school teachers were basically two types of people. Well, there were three types of people that became school teachers in the past. People that were dedicated to educating students. That was one group. The second group of school teachers, this is in the past, the second group of school teachers are college graduates who couldn't make it, and they got a college degree, bachelor's degree or something, so they become a school teacher. And the third group are people that want to have the summers off every holiday and everything else, become school teachers. Now, there's nothing wrong with that if they do their job well. But now we have this new era of millennial and Generation Z school teachers in their 20s and 30s. And millennials go up to like 40s now, you know, Mayor Pizza millennial, who are activists, hardcore radical leftist activists. What this teacher did in Orlando is part of critical race theory, having the white students bend a knee and bow down to the black students. And it was a Black History Month lesson. And, we find out about teachers like this only because he filmed himself doing it, filmed his students, and put it out on TikTok. How many of these teachers are doing this that are smart enough not to film their crimes and post them on TikTok? This is something. And Governor DeSantis, I'm sure today will be talking about this because he's got to get to the bottom of this. In fact, Governor DeSantis should go to Orlando, it's Orange County, and go to that school and find out what's going on there. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. It's pretty twisted. Liberals have lost their minds, people. Liberals have always been bad, but not this bad. We're in a whole new phase now. 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Rob from Palm Beach. How are you?
All right, Rob, what's up?
I'm going to repeat. I know it's open mic, and I started this on Monday, but another scary thing is what the puppet Biden is doing. He's in negotiation with a deal with World Health Organization to give authority over us, the U.S., when another pandemic comes around. So what he's doing is he's signing this agreement, so whatever the World Health Organization says, that we as Americans have to follow what they say. So if they say, if the World Health Organization, according to this agreement, says that we have to, or they mandate a vaccine, that we have to get the vaccine.
Well, the thing with the World Health Organization is controlled by China. And that's the way it is. And listen, in America, we have the best medical system in the world, and most of us have doctors that are not U.S. born, from other countries, and that's awesome. The best doctors in the world leave their countries, India, the continent of Africa. They come to America because the best of the best come here because they can make a good living. So why would we be going to an organization that has a bunch of third-rate, third-world doctors determine. I would rather go by American. And when I say American doctors, I'm talking. I can't tell. When's the last time somebody put a stethoscope on me who was born in the United States? Probably been years, right? But they're the best of the best because they're here in America. So I'm not going to go to third world doctors at the World Health Organization and for anything.
Right, but he's signing an agreement. This is, to me, another reason why.
Well, an agreement he signs, that's like a treaty. It would have to be approved by the Senate. So he can sign he can sign the Paris Climate Accords. It's non-binding until all these things are ratified. These are like treaties. They've got to go through the Senate and they'll never pass. So it's symbolic. This is the thing. This one world government thing that's going on. The reason that it used to be our politicians used to just sell out America, and then around the time of Clinton and Tony Blair, they realized, well, wait a minute, we can sell out the whole world. There's a lot more money to make selling out the whole world, not just America. So they started this one world government control thing, just to they're selling out of America global. And that's what it's all about. Hey, listen, appreciate the call. So listen, we're going to take our break here, last break of the second hour. When we come back, there's a lot more to talk about. And I will, in the next hour, recap what happened on The View because it's so disgusting, so bad, so low life. It's got to be covered again. I mean, I got a lot of stuff here that I haven't even gotten to yet. I'm not going to get to all my show prep today. It's just not going to happen. Sometimes things happen that you got to stomp down on. And I am also, after the break, going to go through a little bit of Mayor Pete's absurd visit to East Palestine, Ohio yesterday. Our number's toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. And, of course, it is open phones on Friday. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. Any and everything you have on your mind is fair game, not just the topics and subjects that we bring up, all right? 1-888-465-2631. We'll take our break and be right back.
The cold, hard truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with Attorney Barry Siegel from the Siegel Law Group. Attorney Barry Siegel, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
Great. What do you have for us today, Barry?
Well, we talk about, of course, estate planning because that's what we do at the Siegel Law Group, estate planning, elder law, and probate. And when we talk about estate planning, that is an important part of your overall financial planning, but it's just part of it. So for those of you who may not have done it yet, maybe you've done your investment planning. And if you've done that, you've done about 20% of your overall planning. There's different parts of planning. There's your investment planning, there's your retirement planning, your insurance planning, your tax planning, and of course your estate planning. And at Siegel Law Group, we want to make sure that you take care of all of those things. So even, when you come in for your estate planning, we want to know that you have those other areas of your planning taken care of. And if you don't, we certainly can refer you to somebody who can help you with those other areas. We're concerned about your overall financial and your overall financial health. So that's what.
Absolutely. And remember, it is always a free consultation with the Siegel Law Group if you mention you heard Attorney Barry Siegel on the radio. That's very important. And the Siegel Law Group covers the entire state of Florida. If you can't make it into one of their offices, Attorney Barry Siegel's main office is in Boca, but he has offices throughout Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade County. But no matter where you are in the state of Florida, in this day of Zoom and video chats and everything else, they can help you no matter where you are. The Siegel Law Group's online at siegellawgroup.com or give them a call toll-free, 855-FLA-3782. 855-FLA-3782. All right, Attorney Barry Siegel, we'll talk next week. All right, back after this.
We take on the social justice warriors for breakfast. Now the Steve Kane Show is on the air.
All righty, welcome back, one and all. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Okay, unrelated to all the political stories, there's, You heard this story of the girl that. Well, let me just read this story, okay? And then you will have heard about it. And those of you that are parents and grandparents, I'm going to give you some advice here. New video shows drunk LSU sorority girl Maddie Brooks slurring and saying, "I'm sorry, I'll book an Uber," to 4 men in car after alleged rape before she was run over and killed, as prosecutors upgrade charges for teenage suspects. Chilling new video shows Louisiana State University student Maddie Brooks slurring her words and apologizing to 4 men in a car after they allegedly raped her in moments before she was run over and killed. The Alpha Phi sorority girl, 19, died shortly after she got out of the car and was struck by a ride-sharing vehicle at 3 a.m. in East Baton Rouge last month. She can be heard struggling to speak as Kayvon, age 18, videos himself on the inside of the car after an argument broke out. It goes on and on. So these guys are on trial for murder and rape, all kinds of things going on. Okay. These, you see these stories all the time of young girls being raped. And this wasn't a date rape situation, but you hear date rape, which is a little different than this kind, because this girl was snatched. But you got rapes, you got date rapes, you've got all kinds of problems. Almost every single one of these problems, because I've got one child, I've got a daughter, she's 23 years old, okay? There is a common thing in almost every single one of these instances. A drunk girl. And, it's very important for young girls not to drink, not to get drunk. Certainly not alone. Okay? If alcohol was not involved, over 90% of these terrible crimes would not happen. These creepy guys hover past closing time at bars looking for girls that are so drunk they don't know where they are. Okay? And that's the way it is. Okay? You've got to not drink, girls. Okay? You've got to not drink. And I know that says, well, how can you expect that? You see these stories, it happens. Another thing with the Uber, a lot of girls are running in trouble with the ride sharing. I'm going to Orlando this morning when I get off the air. And I'm coming back tomorrow. I was going to stay in Orlando all weekend, okay? Got some friends up there, got some plans, and doing something today. And I got some big plans today I'm very excited about. But I'm coming back tomorrow. And not only am I coming back tomorrow, I'm coming back early tomorrow when I was going to stay up there all weekend. And the reason I'm doing that is my daughter is flying home from California, and there's no one to pick her up at the airport. And I said, well, I'm going to be in Orlando. Could we change the flight? She couldn't change the flight. Something's going on. She said, I'll just take an Uber home, Dad. And I said, no, you're not going to take an Uber. So I'm going to drive home tomorrow early, a day early, just to pick her up at the airport here so she doesn't take the Uber. Girls should not be getting in any of these cars alone, especially at night, leaving bars. Should not be calling rideshare. I know we probably got Uber and Lyft drivers out there. I'm sure you're good guys. I've been in Ubers. I've been in Lyfts. I do use them. But I'm talking about young girls being out alone. Girls should not be doing ride sharing alone. Okay? And they can't drink. You got to really drill it in as a parent, as a grandparent, with your girls at a young age. Do not drink alcohol. Young people are out of control. They get so drunk, they basically black out. They get raped. They get killed. Happens all the time. And alcohol is over 90% of it. Okay? That's just the way it is. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once. Twice. All right. See, the liberals are a little upset today. But that's okay. I will not be detoured. Our number, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are calling from. I want to get, though, into a little... After the top of the hour, Steve will be joining us, and I want to get back to what happened on The View yesterday because it's so ugly, so vile, so disgusting, it's got to be covered. But I want to talk here for a moment about Mayor Pete and his trip yesterday. Okay, if you're on hold, stand by. Mayor Pete, when he went to East Palestine, only because he was embarrassed into doing it by our great president, Donald Trump, was not within... I didn't see one regular person in eyesight of him. They cleared out the town. The only people around him were press and controlled officials. Not one. Yeah, President Trump was around. He went into the crowd. He went into the McDonald's. Went up to everyone, signing autographs and everything else. Mayor Pete didn't go near a regular person. And remember yesterday I played the audio of that reporter, Savannah Hernandez, who was reporting while she was covering President Trump in East Palestine. It was raining and her skin was burning from the chemicals in the rain. Well, she tried to ask Mayor Pete some questions, and his press secretary intervened, and it didn't make Pete look good, I'm here to tell you. Listen, this is East Palestine yesterday.
Mayor Pete, why did it take you an entire 2.5 weeks to actually get here to respond to East Palestine? Will you apologize to the residents of this city for the slow response, to the government's slow response? Do you have any apology? Sure.
Okay, now this is great. Mayor, I'm his press person. I can help you. Okay, so he's got this woman who works for him who's his press secretary.
So can we ask why it took him almost 3 weeks to get here?
I'm sorry, I don't want to do this on camera.
What was his personal time off while there was a tragedy happening here?
And can we also ask too why he waited until President Donald Trump came here to actually make an appearance? This is a very important question that people across America would like to know.
I'm happy to have a conversation with you. I do not want to be on camera.
Please put your cameras away.
I'm sorry, we're on a public area, so we are...
Okay, so now Mayor Pete's press secretary has a handler that's telling reporters to put their cameras away, and he goes and gets a cop.
I would like you guys to turn your cameras off.
You're not on my camera.
Well, I'm on a camera. I would like your cameras to be off, and then I'm happy to talk to you guys.
Well, if you're the press secretary of the Secretary of the Department of Transportation, don't you think you should be able to ask questions from the American public that you serve?
Absolutely. I would like to do it without the camera on.
Can I ask why?
I think that is a little bit aggressive. That's why.
Okay, so Mayor Pete's press secretary said asking her questions on camera is a little bit threatening. Now remember, 2 nights before this, Mayor Pete took a photograph of that young girl reporter who was asking him questions, right? Was that aggressive? Listen.
Why is it aggressive? On behalf of the American people, I'm just asking why he has not been here until Donald Trump came.
She's asked several times for them to turn the cameras off, and they will not do it.
Okay, this is Mayor Pete's press secretary's handler who went and got an East Palestine police officer and said, these American journalists will not turn their cameras off when an official from the government told them, like we're in the Soviet Union.
That is a little bit aggressive. That's why.
Why is it aggressive? On behalf of the American people, I'm just asking why he has not been here until Donald Trump came.
She's asked several times for them to turn the cameras off, and they will not do it.
She's been able to walk away. Would you like to go inside?
Okay, so the East Palestine police officer says, well, she can walk away, right? Didn't go well. Didn't clamp down on the press.
I will walk this way.
Can I ask what the secretary is going to do with the picture of Jenny Behar? He took her the other day when she was asking a question about the legacy.
Okay, now one of the reporters just asked what Mayor Pete was going to do with that photograph he took of the girl reporter the other night.
People, I'm just asking why he has not been here until Donald Trump came.
She's asked several times for them to turn the cameras off, and they will not do it.
She's been able to walk away. Would you like to go inside? I do not. I will walk this way.
Can I ask what the secretary is going to do with the picture of Jenny Fair he took her the other day when he accused us of question in Washington, D.C.?
I'm happy to answer your question. I would like you guys to not have your cameras on.
I have my camera up a minute ago. If I turn it off,
You all have your cameras on. I can see that you guys. I'm happy to have this conversation.
All right, y'all, so we are with the press secretary for Pete Buttigieg, and right now we are being told that we are not supposed to be filming. Again, we are here on behalf of the American public because we would like to have the conversation and we would like to ask the question as to why, again, it took almost 3 weeks for Pete Buttigieg to be here on the ground. He waited until Donald Trump came here to actually be here and speak to residents.
Okay, there you have it. I mean, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. What a humiliation for Mayor Pete. And he ran into the building. You wouldn't believe how fast he ran. He was speed walking in his skinny pants. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. This is Yamadi from Miami, and hello to everyone in your opinionated chat.
Yes. Welcome, Miami. You're on the air.
Brian. Oh. Hey, Brian, wanted to tell you, you were just speaking about picking up Emily at the airport. I recently went to Texas, I just got back yesterday night, around 11. Was waiting for my sister to pick me up, and a Hispanic man was in one of those, a big SUV Cadillac, and he was in Uber, and he was not a taxi, and he was approaching people and asking them if they need a ride.
Yeah.
He was charging them, than the regular Uber or whatever. And I said, "Can I see your credentials? Are you a taxi?" And he said, "No, I don't have any credentials." And I said, "Well, listen, I'm going to go over there and call this cop if you don't get out of here right away." And then he proceeded to insult me and call me all kinds of names. So I'm not gonna lie, I called names back. I was like, what the heck what is this? This is the kind of things that they bring from their countries. They do this all over their countries, and then they come here and they want to do the same thing. And no one's really safe, because how do you find this guy afterwards? There's no credentials. There's nothing on his car saying what he is or what his company is. So you don't know.
Well, listen, the thing is, anybody can probably get an Uber sticker to put in the front of their car or one of those lift lights. They're probably not that hard to get. And I just don't think that women should be doing that alone. I don't think, unless they got a man with them escorting them. It's dangerous. It's just dangerous. Listen, I gotta run for the break, but thanks for the call. You make some good points. That's just, I know maybe that's old-fashioned to you guys, but I just don't think unescorted ladies should be doing ride sharing or other things alone, okay? There's escorting a lady is for their safety. Men are pigs and terrible people, and women are victimized all the time because of all these feminist ideas. All right, listen, if you're on hold, stand by. Great calls today, and just great points made by, we've had spectacular calls since the top of the show today, so let's keep that going. Got 1 hour to go. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest-running radio show. There's a opening on the board at 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Back right after this.
WWNN Pompano Beach, WIRK HD3 Indiantown. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. Broadcasting from the Rogue Studio. Injured recently, call the Rogues Law Group, where winning is a habit. 561-570-5700. 561-570-5700. Rogues, winning for you and our community. Your home for the Steve Kane Show.
Al Knight told me that the audio on the air has been dropping out. I don't know.
It's not on my end.
He said on the radio. I don't know.
Well, my,
He said, did you know the audio drops every once in a while or a glitch?
I mean, because the feed that I'm hearing from on my thing is the live air radio.
Oh, okay.
So it could be his, is he driving?
I don't know.
If he's driving, it might be
He's texting me now. I'll see what he says.
If he's driving, it might be his area.
If it's happening, somebody will hear it. I mean, I'm not worried about it.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Someone would call and be like, hey.
I don't have to worry about it. You would hear. We'd hear from somebody.
Especially all the people he's calling.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is what's happening, and why is that?
This report sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims drunk and drunk driving. Your grief is unique for not alone. Always have a place at MADD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MADD-HELP or visit MADD.org. That's traffic. I'm Zach.
Oh boy.
Check out all the fun this week at PBKC. Friday night, come out for the $10 poker party. Free for new signups with a $1,000 guarantee. Saturday, watch, wager, and win on high-stakes OTB action. And Sunday, come out for the PBKC Sports Card and Memorabilia Show with great vendors, prizes, and more. PBKC is your entertainment destination with all the excitement of poker, casino table games, off-track betting, and exciting events.
I know that seems crazy. I'm driving like 4 hours so she doesn't take an Uber, but I don't think a girl should be taking an Uber alone. Do you? I mean, you know. No, no. You could be governor and run for president. Laura Loomer is trying to change the law where you cannot be governor and run for president. You know, we need a color sticker on each monitor so we know. I know it says here, but like, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna just let Mike know.
I mean, I don't need it, but because I'm not using it, but it would be.
Easier.
Yeah.
Look down.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything's color coded now. Here, I'm gonna do in a week or so. I'm gonna do a tour. I'll make a video touring the radio station. You'll see.
Outdoors and the open road? Don't miss RV Hour. Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Hosted by Giant Recreation World second generation owner and CEO Larry McNamara.
Well, no, he has another job. He works nights, and he gets off at like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and comes here, and he has to dress for the other job. When I was a board op, I always had 2 jobs. Most board ops do.
Chase loves soccer. I'm Chase Greer, and I'm 12 years old. And his dream is to turn pro. That's why Chase and his family make sure he's always having fun and squeezing at his best with Go-Go Squeeze. Okay, bye. Let's break for a Go-Go Squeeze. Go-Go Squeeze.
That's right. Very hardworking. Much harder working than our last board op, let me tell you that. Oh my goodness. Mike's awesome. Like, I said, oh, is there a mouse around? And he came, and he's like, I don't know. And he came, 5 minutes later, he came and brought me a mouse, because I need a mouse for my laptop. Yeah. That's what you need. The other guy was like, arr, you know.
But because we're realtors, we're here for so much more. Agents who are realtors volunteer at nearly 3 times the national average. We're working to broaden access to credit, increase affordable housing supply, and ensure fair housing.
Oh my goodness.
Realtors are bound by a code of ethics. We're here for it all. Realtors are members of the National
Well, thank you, Tracy. I think so too. I agree.
Now, back to the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
All right, welcome back. Only one opening on our very busy board at 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And I got to tell you, they added, this show's so hot, the radio station added a ton of new lines. And when I say there is one opening, I'm not even going to tell you how many people are on hold. I mean, this is like a phone bank for customer service in India or something. I've got so many callers on hold. And Steve, hey Steve, good morning. Yes, now before we get started with our calls, I want to tell everyone about my chiropractor, Dr. Philip Appleton. You know, Dr. Appleton, his laser away pain treatment works. It's worked on me on 2 different parts of my body. Oh, you okay, Steve? What do you got? What do you got? Drums back there? It sounded like you hit something. Hold on, there we go. I hit the dump button. Nobody here. Okay, so Dr. Philip Appleton, his laser away pain treatment works, and it's worked on me so well. You know, my years of suffering of knee pain after my skateboard accident, I was in a lot of pain for many years, and sometimes I'd whine about it on the air because it would be so bad. 2 treatments with his laser away pain treatment, my knee pain gone and has not returned. My arthritis pain, 1 treatment with the laser away pain treatment, my arthritis pain gone and has not returned. And both of these were months ago, over 6 months ago. It's amazing. Now, the laser away pain treatment with Dr. Appleton works on more than just arthritis and knee pain, works on any joint, neck pain, stenosis, sciatica, lumbar pain, hip pain, back pain, many other things. If you've got pain, he can rid you of it. Call Dr. Philip Appleton. He's a chiropractic physician. Appointments are not necessary. Walk-ins are welcome. He's open Monday through Saturday, and walk-ins are welcome even on Saturday. You can find him online at AppletonChiro.com or give him a call, 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. That's 954-973-0710. All right, Steve, what do you want to do? We got a lot of calls. Okay, I'm going to take a call or 2, and then after the break, after the next break, I'm going to play for you again what I played in the first hour, the disgusting comments on The View. Joy Behar said, the East Palestine residents voted for Trump. They deserved what they got. We're going to get to that in just a bit. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Barbara in Baltimore.
Hey, Barbara.
Hey, I just wanted to thank you for covering the story about the girl being ran over, and the story about what's happening during Black History Month. This is not new. What happened in that school is not generic. And it's also this critical race theory that's being taught and promoted. That's at the root of a lot of the violence now. There's, people are, what's happening, well, Black people, for the most part, are being almost taught that they need to get back at white people. I don't know what this is going on. It's terrible.
Yeah.
School teacher, I used to teach, it's horrible.
Well, this thing, okay, now Orlando, if you're just tuning in Orlando, a teacher is, they made a video and put it up on TikTok, and they got caught. A 6th grade teacher had his white students bow down on their knees before Black students for Black History Month. This is a trend that's been going on for a few years with critical race theory people wanting white people to bow down on our knees to Black people so that we can feel like slaves or something. That's not what Martin Luther King's dream was all about. But you're absolutely, and a lot of people are wondering, how could this happen in Florida? Orlando is Orange County, Florida. It is very liberal. It's a sanctuary city. It's what the liberals have. Yeah, Orlando, I'm going to Orlando today, but I'm not going to the run-down sanctuary city part, But Orlando used to be a beautiful city, and what the liberals have done to it, it's like Central America there now. I don't know what's going on. Every place you can't even go to a convenience store. It's every convenience store is a work pool now. But anyway, back to this. This critical race theory, what we saw with these white students being made to bow down on their knees in front of Black students by this teacher, that's critical race theory. And this is going on from sea to shining sea in this country.
It is. And it must stop. And it's expanded. You see, even the smart kids, what's happening is the violence is directed towards, it's gone beyond race. Just like, you couldn't keep drugs in the Black neighborhoods. To say what's happening now, the violence is expanding to other minorities, smart people. It doesn't matter what color people are. The kids who are doing well in school, those kids are targeted. You've got kids afraid to have good grades because they would be.
Well, what you're talking about is true, though. What critical race theory is doing is telling young black students that white people that are alive today are doing these terrible things to them, and they feel justified in committing acts of violence against them. And that's a most definite truth that's going on. Hey, listen, thanks for the call. Great call. All right, let's go. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's Juan from Cold Springs.
Hey, Juan.
Good morning, guys. You mentioned earlier about back in the day when the immigration was done appropriately, when they would recruit people that this country needed, like doctors that you mentioned from India, Dominican Republic. The reason they did Eisenhower started that program, and they did it for a very good reason. Not only are the schools up to par in those third world countries for medicine, but they can also diagnose the diseases that no longer exist in this country, such as tuberculosis, diphtheria, malaria, and the list goes on, that not even the Harvard and the Yale students in this country, medical students.
And that's important because the uncontrolled southern border has brought measles back to America and other things.
I was just going to call you. I was just going to get to.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, Juan. That's okay. You got to do the beat faster next time.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right, take care, Juan. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that to you, Juan. All right, listen, we're just a minute away from the next break, so I don't have time to take another call. But if you're on hold, stand by. When we get back from the break, I want to recap. I want to play the most vile comments ever made on national television by Joy Behar yesterday, when she said the people of East Palestine voted for Trump. They got what they deserved. Even her audience was taken aback. Joy Reid should be immediately fired. She should not return to television. What she said was so sick, so twisted, so evil, so deranged. I mean, there's an apology ain't going to cut it this time, Joy. You know, Whoopi wasn't there, but she had a recent incident of anti-Semitism that she escaped from. But enough of what, this is terrible. Call us on hold, stand by. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's the Steve Kane Show, back after this.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in on the action. Call the Steve Kane Show live on air now. 888-GO-CANE1. This is the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig on Oldies 95.9 and 106.9.
Have you been to Chowderheads in Jupiter yet? If you're looking for the best seafood in town, you have to try Chowderheads. You'll love their authentic New England seafood, brought in fresh from Boston. Their award-winning lobster rolls, clam chowder, and fried oysters are absolutely delicious. Come taste it for yourself. You'll want to keep coming back for more at Chowderheads, located in the Driftwood Plaza on South US Highway 1 in Jupiter. Now open 7 days a week. For reservations or to go, call 561-203-2903 or check out their menu at chowderheadsusa.com.
Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to feel older. This is Brian Craig, and I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Biostation West of Ray, and hormone replacement pellet therapy. Hormone replacement pellet therapy is all natural. What it does is restore your hormones to where they were when you were in your 20s. Ensuring you have more energy, you'll get your sex drive back, and women, hormone replacement pellet therapy completely reverses all the signs and symptoms of menopause. Loose wings gone. Sweat gone. I've met listeners before and after hormone replacement pellet therapy with Dr. Matez, and when I first meet him, they're like Joe Biden, and no one wants to be like him. And then I meet him again after they began hormone replacement pellet therapy, and they have their energy back, just like Trump. They're standing up tall, and they feel years younger. Now, it's always a free consultation with Dr. Matez.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I'm all about free speech, but this is beyond the realms of. I mean, this is just. She's not a normal person. I mean, there's something off with that lady to talk that way.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer Michelle. As an entrepreneur, every day is different. My phone bill from Cricket, on the other hand, always stays the same. Without surprises, hidden fees, or annual contracts, I can work worry-free. That's Michelle, everybody, doing business like a boss. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer, paid for testimonial. See CricketWireless.com for details.
This is
Lori Kane. When people go to the dentist, they think of the pain, but the biggest pain is the cost. Not with Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental Care. The dental work is
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Laura Loomer is doing that. I'm very well aware of it.
954-922-4633. 954-922-4633. That's 954.
Oh man, I lost when yeah, okay.
BrightonDentalCare.com.
Here's how we look for Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear. The rule has gone hands-free. However, if you want to put on a pair of sneakers, you still need to bend down and help your feet in. Until now, introducing Skechers hands-free slip-in footwear. You don't need to reach down to help your heel in. You just step into them and off you go. So what's the secret? Well, there's a special spring comfort pillow in the heel that helps your foot slide into place. And they stay on just like a pair of laced-up sneakers.
Get hands-free slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold. On the air since 1977, it's the Steve Kane Show.
All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve, you with us? Okay, I want to let everybody know, yeah, it's a small world. One of our old friends, Al Knight, is on our radio station. He's our weekend guy. And Saturdays and Sundays, from noon to 4, catch Al Knight. I know a lot of our longtime listeners know Al Knight from the Craig Worthing Show days. Al Knight is on all of our radio stations, noon to 4, Saturday and Sunday. Now, yesterday, when we were talking about Anne Marie's in Pompano, we were talking about the great appetizers, in particular the lobster ravioli. And you know, that lobster ravioli, I want to talk about the desserts in a moment, but the lobster ravioli, you know, when we talk about that, it's not just because it's so delicious and so great. It's homemade ravioli made with fresh Maine lobster. They use the claw meat, which is the best meat in the lobster. It just goes to the pride that they take in their food and the quality of their food at Anne Marie's, that they go that extra mile to use fresh Maine lobster, but even use the claw meat from the fresh Maine lobster and the lobster ravioli. It's amazing. And we talk so much about the great Italian entrees and the pizzas and everything, but they have great desserts too. And you know, everything is homemade at Anne Marie's, as I said. You know where most Italian restaurants, you know where they get their food, Steve? BJ's and Costco. Yeah, that's where they go. You know, if I want microwaved, thawed out, frozen food, I'll just go to Costco myself or BJ's and make it myself. Anne Marie's, everything's homemade. It's not Costco. It's not BJ's. I'm telling you. But I want to tell everyone, no matter what you order, you want to get the cannolis. And get the large cannolis. They have mini and large, but I got the minis once, and I immediately ordered a large right after it. And, you know, everything, including the cannolis, homemade right there at Anne Marie's, and they are delicious. And like everything else, large portions. Oh, have you had their fresh baked brownies, Steve? Oh, what I usually do at Anne Marie's is takeout. And I told you guys a couple weeks ago, with the high price of things at the grocery store, my wife and I have discovered it's much more economical to get takeout at Anne Marie's. you know it is. It's cheaper to eat out at Anne Marie's, and the portions are so large. Everything you order is 2 meals at least. But the fresh baked brownies are fresh baked and homemade right there at Anne Marie's too, just like the great Italian entrees. Listen, stop into Anne Marie's. They're open all weekend long. They're open for lunch, dinner, and takeout. And when you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. Anne Marie's is located in Pompano on the northwest corner of US 1 Federal Highway and Copans Road in the same plaza as the movie theater, all right? Okay, so if you're on hold, stand by. I want to just replay this. I talked about this in the first hour and played it, but I want to play it again. The View is a poison show that have gone over the lines of decency more times than anyone could count. The show's been on 30 years. And when one thing that this god-awful tragedy in East Palestine, Ohio has shown is the true face of the left, the true ugliness of the left. And yesterday I was telling you the reason that Biden denied FEMA assistance when that idiot Mr. Magoo governor they have, DeWine, requested it, is because they're Trump voters. And they said, you voted for Trump, you deserve to die. And some of you agreed that is probably what's going on, but a lot of people on the phones yesterday said there's no way. Come on, this is America. Well, Joy Reid said the quiet part out loud live on television on The View yesterday. Listen.
This is Trump country. He won by 40 points. He won. He is a president for all Americans. I believe that, but he needs to show that he is. It was time for him to be
People why they would ever vote for him for somebody who, by the way, he placed someone with deep ties to the chemical industry in charge of the EPA's Chemical Safety Office. That's who you voted for in that district. Donald Trump, who reduces all safety. He did.
Like showed up at McDonald's and those voters saw something on the ground that probably resonates in a way that they need.
But they need to look past the photo ops, these people, and say, who's doing the job here? Forget about the photo ops.
Showing up is a big deal.
I think this is Donald Trump's fault.
Okay. So I know you got a lot of women talking at the same time. That's why you don't want to do a show with multiple women. It's like watching Outnumbered here. But by the way, the NTS, the NTSB said that it was a worn ball bearing that caused the accident. By the way, no deregulation or anything. But let's not stop progress over here on The View. The View said, what Joy Behar said is this community voted 60% Trump. They deserve to be poisoned with deadly chemicals. Now, that means of those who voted, 60% voted for Trump. That means 40% voted for Biden. So she's saying that the 40% that voted for Biden deserve to be poisoned too because they've got people in their community that voted for Trump. I don't know what voter turnout in East Palestine, Ohio, and that county is, but on average in America, if you get 35% voter turnout, that's considered massive voter turnout, right? Most people in that town, in that community, didn't even vote. Some of them are children and not old enough to vote yet. So Joy Behar is saying if you voted Democrat, you deserve to be poisoned because 60% of voters voted for Trump. If you didn't vote, you deserve to be poisoned. If you're a child and you're not old enough to vote yet, well, your parents voted for Trump, you deserve to be poisoned too. I'm all for free speech, but this is over the line beyond imagine. I've never heard a national broadcast. This is like the Father Coughlin days, Steve. I mean, this is real ugliness. And she needs to be taken. Now, The View, typically, they're live Monday through Thursday. They do the show live. Friday show is usually taped. Typically, they do the live show Thursday, and then after they tape a show for Friday, because you come on, 5 days a week? I'm Joy Behar. I can't work 5 days a week. So I don't know if they're going to be live today to respond. But some half-hearted apology on Monday or today ain't going to get it. There needs to, and what Joy Behar said is very important because she said what Biden and all the rest are thinking. And it's important for people to know that. She said that's why they denied FEMA. They voted for Trump. They deserve to die. That's what she said, and lose everything they have. Can you imagine what it's like to own a house in East Palestine or a business? It's done. You're so upside down in your house. If your house is paid for, you're upside down. Things are so bad there in East Palestine. I mean, these are terrible people. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. You got to turn the radio down because we're on a delay. Let's see if they can figure it out. Good morning. You're on the air. I hear them getting the phone. Oh, my goodness. All right. Thanks for the call. I appreciate the call. Oh, my goodness. That's the liberal response, people. I don't know if you've noticed this because I haven't really said much about it. I brought this story right at the top of the show at 6. And liberals have been doing what that last caller just did throughout the whole show, trying to disrupt. Listen, don't be mad at me, be mad at Joy Behar, okay? She said it. She did it. Now, after the bottom of the hour break, I have a piece of audio that is beautiful. Oh. Remember Angela Davis, Steve? That black militant? Oh. Did you hear what happened to her?
No.
Oh. Well, you'll hear it after the bottom of the hour break. Angela Davis is one of the most militant, black activist of the 1960s and 70s in the United States, isn't she? I mean, I'm not, as far as women go. Yeah, I mean, there's been some men who were hardcore, radical black activists in the 60s. But she is probably the most well-known and active black, anti-American, communist, radical Black Panther types from the 1960s and 70s in this country. And she had something happen to her on television that is beautiful, beautiful. And it was done by someone in the Obama circle. Wait till you hear this. If you listen to my podcast, you already heard this, because I shared this on my podcast last night. But this has got to be shared everywhere. So don't miss this when we get back. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Back after this.
Making morning radio great again. It's the Steve Kane Show with Brian Craig.
Oh, I just lost the audio. I'll find it. Hold on. Here it is. Oh, man. I'm just going through my emails and text messages and DMs right now. Oh, man. Oh. Did you guys hear this Angela Davis thing on my podcast last night? Sometimes things are so big, I got to share them on both. I don't usually do that, but if I do, it's because it's so big, it has to be on both. I'll get into more detail on the podcast than I will on the radio this morning about it, but this is great. Oh, this is beautiful. Sometimes you just got to enjoy the liberal suffering, right? Make sure you guys subscribe and click the notification bell. I'll be online over the weekend. I'll be live streaming or vlogging or something over the weekend. I'm getting all my stuff together so I can get out of here right at 9. I gotta meet someone at 12:30 in Orlando. So, and there's traffic this time of day. Joy Behar said that the people in East Palestine voted for Trump, so they voted for this. They deserved it. They did it to themselves. Even though it was a ball bearing that was worn, it's still, you know. I've never been to Buc-ee's. People tell me I should go, but Buc-ee's is out of my way. I don't think there's a Buc-ee's near where I'm going to be. How much better is it than Wawa? What's so special about Buc-ee's? I don't know. But I do know when I go to Orlando, I'm going to get me some White Castle.
Now back to the Steve Kane Show, celebrating 45 years on the air.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. Steve Kane is here. Callers on hold, stand by. You know, we got more stuff that I can get to today, and but that's okay. That's good. So, okay. This is fun. This is beautiful. Okay, Henry Louis Gates is a friend of Obama's. He's that black college professor from Boston that was breaking into his own house, and the police and a neighbor called the cops. Remember this? And a neighbor called the cops, which means that Henry Louis Gates has good neighbors. Okay, it was dark. It was late at night. The lights were off. A neighbor saw someone breaking into his house, called the cops. And the cops came and questioned him, and then it caused a whole racial thing. Yeah, they called because I'm black. That was probably a black neighbor that called, unless Gates lives in a white neighborhood. And he was friends with Obama, and Obama had that beer summit with the white cop and Henry Louis Gates at the White House. You guys remember all that? And okay, so Henry Louis Gates has this show on PBS where he brings on white liberal celebrities and goes over their ancestry and makes them ashamed of themselves. He had one guy on, I saw this week, oh boy, I just forgot his name. Gosh darn it, he was in Dumb and Dumber with Jim Carrey. What was that guy? You know Dumb and Dumber with Jim Carrey, Steve? Who was the guy that was in that? Not Jim Carrey, the other guy. And he was in this liberal show with Jane Fonda called The Newsroom. Oh, I cannot remember his name. Gosh darn it. Jeff Daniels. Okay, Jeff Daniels. Jeff Daniels is a big left-wing jerk, right? So so what he does is he brings these liberals in, these white liberals, and shares with them their family history to make them feel guilty. So he brings in this liberal jerk, Jeff Daniels, and what he does is he does research on them and then throws their family tree at them and has them read through it. And Jeff Daniels finds out that one of his ancestors was a witness at the Salem witch trials. And as a liberal, Jeff Daniels feels like he's responsible. And he does this. Sometimes their family owns slaves. It's always something terrible, you know? It's never anything good. And he's been doing this show for years, and I love it. And I love watching these white liberals' reaction. To me, if I found out I had an ancestor who was a witness at the Salem witch trials, I said, "Oh, that's interesting," and I'd probably start researching them and everything. Not Jeff Daniels is like, "Oh, what did I do? How can I make amends? What can I do?" Yeah, I mean, come on. So this week, Henry Louis Gates brought on Angela Davis. Now, Angela Davis has been out of circulation for a long time. Okay. But in the 60s and 70s, she was the most well-known black militant anti-American communist in this country. She's basically a female Black Panther type, right, Steve? Is that fair to say? Yeah. So Henry Louis Gates brought her on and revealed her family tree, and I'm going to play you the audio. And this is beautiful. If you're not familiar with Angela Davis, Google her after 9 o'clock, people, not while we're on the air. Yeah, she basically was a Black Panther. So Henry Lou, and she traveled to the Soviet Union and North Korea and East Germany and all this stuff because they know how to treat black people in these countries where there's no black people. So anyway, so Angela Davis, who should be in prison, a gun of hers was used to murder people, right? And somehow she's not in prison. But anyway, she's on Henry Louis Gates' show. He throws her family tree at her and has her read it. And it didn't go well for Angela Davis. Listen to this. This is on PBS. This just happened this week.
Any idea what you're looking at? That is a list of the passengers on the Mayflower. No, I can't believe this.
Okay, now Angela Davis, whose whole life has been kill Whitey, Whitey's responsible, Plymouth Rock, we didn't land at Plymouth Rock landed on us, and all that line of stuff. She now found out she's a Mayflower descendant, so her family came here on the first boat and started this whole racist America.
Any idea what you're looking at? That is a list of the passengers on the Mayflower. No, I can't believe this. No. My ancestors did not come here on the Mayflower. Your ancestors came on the Mayflower. No. You are descendants from one of the 101 people who sailed on the Mayflower. Oof. That's a little bit too much to deal with right now. Did you ever, in your wildest dreams, think that you may have descended from people who laid the foundation for this country? Never.
Okay, now a normal person would say, wow, being a Mayflower descendant's a big deal, by the way. There aren't that many of them, okay? And this is what I think, okay, about Angela. Angela Davis is ticked. And I'd love to know when that segment ended what she did. She must have been ticked. You could tell she's ticked, and she must have laid into Henry Louis Gates like nobody's business after. And whoever booked her on the show probably got fired. Well, Angela Davis, even though I was alive in the 70s, but I was a little baby, and I don't, only thing I know about Angela Davis really are old photographs and videos from long ago. When I heard about this, I went and got the audio, so I had to watch the video, and it's in high definition, 4K, right? Because it's 2023. And I realized something about Angela Davis that I never realized before. She's really not that black. She's pretty white-skinned. And, that story this week of that girl who was pretending to be black, remember we were talking about that earlier in the week? She got busted, she's a civil rights activist, she's a white girl. Her mother said she's white as snow. She was passing as black Muslim and gay and all kinds of things. I think Angela Davis has known her whole life that she's a Mayflower descendant. Being a Mayflower descendant is a big deal. It's bigger than being a Kennedy without the money. Because people that are Mayflower descendants, they consider themselves a special class of people, and it's a very, very tight-knit club. I think Angela Davis has been passing her entire life. I think she's known about this even during when she was running around with the Black Panthers in the 60s and 70s, if they knew she was a Mayflower descendant, they would have killed her, Steve. Eldridge Cleaver would have killed her. Don't you think? I think so. What sounds far-fetched? No, it's true. Henry Louis Gates researched it. He's got her. This is what he does. He's a genealogist, He found out, It's absolutely amazing. And I think she's been, I think Angela Davis, who is in all the history books. You learn about Angela Davis in high school, in college. She's in all the history books. She has been passing her entire life. She's been living a lie her entire life, and she's been a tenured professor at the liberal university since the 70s. She's like Elizabeth Warren claiming to be an Indian. You know, this is a huge story. And, Henry Louis Gates, when he does these celebrity reveals, usually get a lot of attention because I follow them. I love them because I love finding out these liberals are descendants of slave owners and guards at internment camps and things. I love it. I love it. It never gets old. But this one isn't getting much publicity, and the only reason I know about it didn't get publicity is because I follow what he does because I get a kick out of it. This one is being suppressed. She's kind of like a Steinem type figure in that era. She's one of the iconic women in the entire left. You got Angela Davis, Gloria Steinem, Hillary Clinton. She's in that narrative of women that they put out there. And for this to come out is like, it goes against everything that the left have been pushing for the last 60 years. And it couldn't happen to a nicer woman. Now listen, after our last break, we'll squeeze in some more calls. It is open phones, on Fridays. We call it Open MAGA Mic Friday. Anything and everything you have on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. You're not limited to the topics that we bring up. I know I brought up a lot of good stuff today, but you don't have to talk about all these great things I brought up. You can talk about anything you have on your mind on Friday's show. The rest of the week, you got to talk about what we want to talk about. But today's the open phone day, so take advantage of that. But the reason I share that, I did a big section on my podcast on it last night and got into a lot more detail about Angela Davis. But sometimes you just got to savor the suffering of the left. And Angela Davis is, go and, I don't know if I tweeted that. Go and find the video after 9 o'clock, not when we're on the air. And look at her face when she finds that out. Oh, if looks could kill. All right. If you're on hold, stand by. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Don't forget, each day about an hour after we sign off the air, the entire show is uploaded as a podcast on our radio station website, TrueOldiesFLA.com. TrueOldiesFLA.com. Every day about 10 o'clock, roundabout, sometimes earlier, sometimes later. And then the shows are archived up there. So if you missed a part of a show, you can catch it. Or maybe you called in and you want to hear your call or save your call or play your call to your friends or to yourself. You can go to TrueOldiesFLA.com and do that as well. All right, we'll take our break and be back with the Gold Report.
Hard Truth. Delivered morning 6 to 9 right here on The Steve Kane Show.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the morning gold and precious metals report. William Youngerman, how the metals look today?
Metals continuing their downward push to try to test that $1,800 number that has been support for a while. Gold at this point well oversold and probably a great buying opportunity for those that have been holding off and watching. Yesterday we saw gold drop $3.90 on the close, closing at $1,821.90. Silver was down 17 cents at $21.32, while platinum lost $3 at $9.46, and palladium was down $34 at $1,380. This morning we see gold trading in a range of $1,811 to $1,828, and right now it's at $1,814, down $7.90. Silver down 32 cents at $21. Platinum down $26 at $920. And palladium down $90 at $1,290 the ounce. So the market's really pulling back on anticipation of more rate hikes from the Fed and just getting in a seller's mode right now. And that gives us great buying opportunities when this happens. But right now, as I said, the market's way oversold, and that could be setting itself up for a major bounce back up here soon.
Well, to me, that sounds like all good news because I think what you just said, William Youngerman, the gold, silver, and platinum are on sale this morning. So at these prices, because, things are at different prices today, what would you recommend specifically that people pick up today?
All three of them, really, gold, silver, and platinum. If you're light on any of those positions, this would be a great time to ask you for those positions.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, William Youngerman opens up at 10 a.m. He's located right in Boca at 150 East Palmetto Park Road, just immediately west of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto on the first floor. Oops, I'm sorry, I lost William Youngerman there. That was my fault, William. I apologize. He's on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. Online at williamyoungerman.com, or you can give him a call directly, toll free, after 10 o'clock, 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. We'll be right back. All right, and here we go, back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Oh, Sarah from Colorado. Hey, Sarah.
Sarah, how are you?
Hey guys, how are you?
We're doing excellent. Good to hear your voice. How you feeling?
Thank you. Very good, real good. Sorry, that's my dog. Don't worry. She thinks she's tough. She's not. Anyway, the Davis story is wrong. I am a descendant from the Mayflower. There's no Davis in that name.
Well, it's a different last name. I don't remember. I didn't play the whole show, and they do get into the specifics of who it is. She is a descendant. I can't remember the name of who she is a descendant of. Mm-hmm. Well. Okay. Well, so Henry Louis. Wait a minute. Henry Louis Gates said that you're saying he's inaccurate, but you're saying that Henry Louis Gates said you're related to Angela Davis then.
I'm not related. We have no Davis. What's in the line in our family?
Okay. Well, I'll look into it. Well, I'll look into it. I don't blame. I wouldn't want to be related to Angela Davis either, Sarah. By the way, how you been feeling? Because you were not feeling so well for a while.
Pretty good. Very, very good.
Well, that's good to hear. All right. Well. Oh, awesome. Great. All right. Well, have a good weekend.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Good. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Carol from Delray Beach, Florida.
Hey, Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Hi. The reason I'm calling is a friend of mine sent me something very disturbing on YouTube that Joe Biden wants to give our sovereignty February 29th to the WHO.
Okay, now let me slow you down here, okay? And when you say the WHO, you don't mean like Roger Daltrey, right? You mean the World Health Organization. Okay, I mean, is Roger Daltrey still alive, by the way? I don't know. Peter Townsend? I don't know. Okay, here's the thing, and he's not giving our sovereignty away. He may try, or he may sign something, okay? But anything like that Biden signs has to go through congressional approval in the Senate, and that's not going to get through. So whatever he does is either for a payoff or symbolic, okay? Yeah, and by the way, yeah, well, I was going to look and see. That was my next point, because I'm pulling up the calendar. You said, when was the date you said?
February 28th.
Oh, the 28th, because you said the 29th when you first said it. And I was pulling, okay, as I was talking, I was kind of vamping for myself to see if this is a leap year, and there's 29 days in February this year instead of 28. So if you read a story that says the 29th, you're being punked. Okay, let me just tell you, okay? A lot of times, because you said the 29th, and somebody else called and said the 29th, and I just didn't click with me. Somebody called earlier in the week and said the same thing on the 29th. It didn't click with me then. A lot of times, liberals put things online to try to get conservatives to talk about them. You know what I mean? To try to discredit conservatives. And I've had several calls about this week, and 2 people told me February 29th. You were the second. And there's only 28 days in February. Yeah, but you said the 20, somebody else earlier this week said the 29th too. So what I'm wondering is this article, no, don't apologize. I'm just telling you, you got to be cautious on what you read and what you think is correct. I've gotten 2 calls from people. Oh, well, if it's on YouTube, it must be real. Well, go back and watch and see if it says the 29th. But, okay. All right.
A friend of mine sent it to me, and I'm like, holy crap, this is...
Now, Biden does not have the authority to sign away American sovereignty. He does have the ability to sign a document that says that and then get paid through Hunter. But it doesn't mean anything. You understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah, they are the most corrupt, honestly.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Hunter Biden,
All right, I think we better stop before the next beat, because I can only imagine what she's going to say next. Oh my goodness! Yes, on February 29th. I can't get my calendar to pull up, but I think there's only 28 days this year. I don't think we're in a leap year, right? I think I would know if we were in a leap year. I think I would have known about that. I don't know why my calendar won't pull up, but I'm pretty confident that. Oh, here it is. No leap year. Only 28 days this year, not 29. So I don't know. Oh boy, Steve, I'll tell you, this train derailment has messed up. Did you see Mayor Pete yesterday in East Palestine? You know, the way that he was dressed, it looked like it was a mix. The way Mayor Pete was dressed was a mix of 2 things, okay? He was wearing goggles and a hard hat. He looked like a kid in a high school science class doing an experiment. The rest of it, what he was wearing below the neck was this bright fluorescent thing. He was dressed like a crossing guard. Yeah. Like if the Village People were adding a crossing guard to their lineup, Mayor Pete would fit the bill. He looked like a crossing guard, and he just looked so out of place. And then I'm not going to play you let me play it. I wasn't going to play this, but let me see if I can pull this up, because there was when he misspoke, when he said he lost his train of thought. Did you see that part? Let me see. I know I have this. Okay, let me play this, because this is, I heard people talking about this on the TV news, and everyone missed the point. So this is Mayor Pete in his crossing guard uniform yesterday. He had everything but the stop sign or the walk sign or whatever. And he was talking in East Palestine. Listen.
Both information and misinformation injected into this situation, none of which is to the benefit of the community when it comes to that misinformation. So I think, so I lost my train of thought.
Okay, I lost my train of thought. Everyone has been talking about this, and all of them have missed the point. Some said he's over his head, he got confused. Some say he used an inappropriate reference because he said train, and he's at the sign of a train derailment. Those things may be true, but this is what happened. And this is one of the things I realized why it took him so long to get there. He's been memorizing his script, and he forgot his next line. And and everything he says is scripted. And when he forgot the line, he was lost for a second, because when he was in his monologue, he was asked a question, and it interrupted him. And I may go back now that I've said that. Listen to it again. He's using a lot of big words and everything, not saying much as normal.
Information and misinformation injected into this situation, none of which is to the benefit of the community when it comes to that misinformation. So I think, so I lost my train of thought.
See, he lost his next line. He couldn't remember. He was like, line. If it was in a play rehearsing, that's what would have happened. Pretty busted. And, you know, he did blame Trump. And this Trump blaming narrative, now that we know it was a worn ball bearing that caused the accident, and that's according to the NTSB, which is very credible, the NTSB. Okay, and they're saying it's the worn ball bearing. So all this other stuff of blaming Trump, they're the ones that are giving out false information. Now, just a little while ago, during one of the breaks at the bottom of the hour, if you guys watching me on YouTube, you might have seen me looking down, doing some things. I was looking at my iPad, and I got a notification there was someone at my door, and I'm not home, so I was kind of curious who was at my door, and luckily it was Amazon delivering a package, which was very nice. You know, call Sloman's, get your free doorbell camera. When you call, tell them you heard about them on the radio. They'll tell you how you can get your free doorbell camera. And it's an amazing thing because I got the notification. I saw they delivered a package. It's one I don't want to leave out front all day. And I sent a text to my wife, and she's going to go get it. Okay, so it doesn't sit out there because I'm not going to be home for a while. And it's a great, that's what I mostly use it for, is when we get deliveries, you know, and we know what's out there or who's out there. It's a great thing to have. You know, it has high definition video with night vision, and it records too. So you can always see and always have a recording of any movement that is at your door. And you'll love it. Give them a call. It's 833-283-5050. It makes a great gift for your kids as well. Okay, you got to, you know, one of your children, they're moving out. This is perfect for you. 833-283-5050. 833-283-5050. Again, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio, and they'll tell you how you can get your free doorbell camera. All right, let's squeeze in a call or two before we say goodbye for the week. Good morning.
Hi, this is Helen from Kansas.
Oh, yes, Helen.
Well, the disciples asked the Lord, you know, what will be the signs of his second coming, before his second coming? And he said, in St. Matthew 24, he said that one of the 7 signs of the 7 seals, 7 trumps, and 7 vials is that there would be earthquakes in many places. Well, look at all the earthquakes been going on. And the Lord is preparing the earth for his great earthquake that he's going to cause in Revelations chapter 16, verse...
Okay, getting like Mayor Pete. You're losing your train of thought, Helen. We're almost out of time.
All right, okay, in verse 18, his great earthquake that he's going to cause.
Okay. Well, listen, Helen, we're out of time, but thanks for the call. She lost her train of thought too. Listen, everyone, we've had great calls today, and a lot of the callers that called in today are people I've not heard from before and brought up some really amazing and interesting points that made me think a time or two about things in a different way. So thanks, everyone. I hope you all have a great weekend. If you're on hold, I'm sorry, we don't have time for more callers. If you want to hold on through the weekend, we'll be back Monday morning at 6 a.m., and if you are on hold now, that guarantees you'll be at the front of the line on Monday's show. However, Monday's not open phones, okay? Only Fridays. So you'll have to talk about whatever we bring up on Monday. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve has been here. This is Florida's longest running radio show. And of course, God bless America, and God bless the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. See you guys Monday morning. Have a great weekend. All right, guys. I got to run. But take care. Make sure you like the video before you go, all right? Take care.